Hey adventurers, this is Jerry from AdventurousJeriLynn. We're going to jump right in. Today we're going to talk about our DIY solar generator. Alright, in my first live video, I had mentioned the project that we were trying to build our own solar generator out of 18 650 batteries. In the video I even had some of the parts on hand and to show you and just show you overall what kind of components are going inside this solar generator. I have pictures of the progress so far, so I just want to show you our little progression. Most of the parts are installed to make my own solar version of a solar generator. Most of the 12-volt circuits are wired together. All that is left is wiring the 110-volt recessed plug, the inverters, and installing the battery securely so they don't move around. Process is coming around really well. We feel by doing it ourselves, we can install what we need and not forgetting about the rest that is not needed or extreme overkill. After careful planning, careful consideration, we wanted to use this, what we came up with. This is what is going to be best for us, what we may need it for. We came up with a small list of wants and don't wants for our version of a solar generator. We wanted something with a large capacity of reserve power just in case, we just may need it. And we also wanted to be able to use household appliances if needed, blender, lights, chargers, etc. We wanted to use laptop battery charger to keep laptops charged when we're away from home. We also wanted to be able to plug in any camper, into any camper when connected to the utility setup at campsites. If we decide, if we aren't boondocking, we can have that choice to plug in. If we were a boondocking situation, we wanted to be able to charge the unit with a smaller solar panel, keeping this generator as backup power supply while camping or traveling. We wanted to be able to, at a glance, see the power we were using or the power we had at our disposal. We also wanted a light source for whatever reason. You just never know. You can never have too much light. So, either at a campsite where light was needed, stranded on the side of the road in an emergency, changing a tire, or walking to and from the campsite, lake, or just hiking, and need light to light up the path in front of us. We talked about it, compared it with what else is out there. I've been looking at the Goal Zero, I've been looking at the Jackery, and this is what we came up with. And we decided what we liked and what we didn't like, and to build our own and to do it safely. This video is what we have put together so far as the not done yet. Ordering parts, waiting on delivery, spare time, and a lot of it, there's some delay. The next video will be a completed version of our solar generator. That's what we're hoping. All that is left is final wiring, testing to make sure it can be charged safely by house current and by solar panels. We're also going to do a bunch of testing for our own knowledge, what it can and can't do and how long it can do it for. Our next project will be another weatherproof box like this one with nothing but batteries inside of it. No switches, no sockets, no outlets, just a big battery that can be hooked to this particular one that we're working on now. And it could double or even triple our reserve power just with a plug and go system. A commercial solar generator that everyone is watching being reviewed on just about all the channels out there would cost a minimum of about $1,000. We think with this all said and done, that we may have it around $480 invested in this whole particular project. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to us. We will do our best to answer any of your questions and appreciate any feedback we can get. Hope you think this was worth it. I'm hoping that it's worth it. You can never have enough energy, battery, backup. You can never have enough. And with the 885 watts of solar that we have on top of the cargo trailer, I think this is going to be an added, bonus. So hopefully everything will work out and we'll have it in the next video. So I wanted to say thank you. As always, thank you so much for watching. And again, I'm not sure if the pictures will be before this video or after, but just stay tuned and just watch the entire video. If you watch the entire video, it helps my channel. It helps it grow, and it kind of pushes it out to YouTube saying, hey, it's on of 200 subscribers. So if you guys, go ahead and subscribe. Yeah. Oh, I mean right now. Please subscribe, share, like, comment. And I always comment. I read all my comments. So, we're a family. So, you learn from me, I learn from you. It's a community. All right, you guys take care. We'll see you out on the open road. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We're going to start off with this medium Apache waterproof case from Harbor Freight. It cost us about $37. The picture shows us taping up the box, so we have it all measured and marked out of each component so we can visually see before we cut or drill any starts. This picture shows the layout of the dual USB car, cigarette lighter, socket, splitter outlet. This will also house the switch for the LED lights on the outside of the case to be used as a light when walking to and from campsite or whenever or wherever light is needed. This picture shows where the 110-volt outlets will be located. These outlets will be connected to an inverter that will convert the 12-volt power supply from the batteries to the 120-volt AC household current. These could be used for laptop chargers, lights, blenders, etc. Anything that requires a 110-volt and a 120-volt house current. This picture shows the layout of the current control screen, a DV, voltmeter, multimeter, meter tester, detector with Hall sensor to keep track of current being used and current being put back into the unit. This will also protect the unit from being overcharged or being drained to low, causing damage to the batteries. The power button, which is a 12-volt, 19mm mini LED Power Angel iPush button, metal on and off switch for the 12-volt circuits, such as the USB 12-volt outlet, the binding post, and the LED lights. This picture also shows the 12-volt binding post for quick and easy access to 12-volt battery supply. This picture shows the 110-volt connection and the fan inlet outlet. 12-volt 60mm computer case fans for cooling off the equipment on the inside if it should heat up and need some cooling off. The plug will allow the unit to be plugged into a wall outlet or household current to charge the battery and keep it charged and ready to go at a moment's notice. Inlet module plug, 5 amp fuse switch, male power socket, 10 amp. This shows the solar panel connection, a 12 AWG solar power socket that is weatherproof, quick connector, the inlet outlet fans, again using the 12-volt 60mm computer case fans, and the 3 18mm and 9-watt LED lights. This pic shows the final layout of all the components that will be installed and where they will fit in the lid of the box before cutting and drilling begins. This pic shows the homemade battery charging board that charges 25 18650 lithium-ion batteries. A quick background for those that don't actually know what these are. These tiny batteries are what power the Tesla all-electric cars you see driving around today. There are around 7,000 of these tiny batteries powering the Tesla self-driving cars. These batteries are also in every laptop battery, almost every vaping device in use today. Laptop batteries that the laptops see as unusable actually are in most cases perfectly fine. The BMS battery management system will only let you charge the laptop a certain amount of times, or if the BMS, the battery management system, sees the fault, it stops all charging and makes you replace the entire battery. If you open up a laptop battery, there is usually 4 to 8 of these 18650 batteries in there. And if you separate or harvest the batteries and charge them separately, they are perfectly fine for other projects, just like one being built that we are talking about today. This pic shows a couple of smaller chargers that will charge the 18650 batteries and then test them, giving you a digital display of the battery's internal capacity and condition. If you know the condition of the batteries, you can match up the stronger ones, which will make your project last longer in between needing to be charged in the lifespan of the entire project before needing to be replaced. This is a picture of the final placement of the 3 LED lights and drilling locations of the hole. This picture shows the actual final holes drilled and one of the LED lights installed. This time it was taken to measure everything out to the last millimeter for aesthetics and functionality. This picture shows all 3 of the LED lights installed perfectly. This picture shows the internal hookup for the 12-volt binding post for external connections to the battery after final installation. This picture shows the internal connections of the 3 LED lights after final installation. This picture shows a close-up of the 12-volt binding post after final installation. Banana clips can be used, or use the plastic thumb screws to secure a good connection. This picture shows the layout of the USB plugs, the 12-volt outlet, and the 12-volt switch. This picture shows the recessed power strip with 2 110-volt AC outlets and 2 USB ports, along with a proposed location and template cutout. This picture shows the final installation of the DV voltmeter multimeter meter tester detector with Hall sensor to keep track of current being used and current being put back into the unit. This will also protect the unit from being overcharged or being drained too low, causing damage to the batteries. This picture shows the final installation of the recessed power strip. This picture shows the final installation of the USB 12-volt and LED switch installed. This picture shows the final installation of the weatherproof solar panel connection, a 12 AWG solar power socket. This shows the final installation of the solar panel connection and the inlet outlet fans with the fan guards installed. This pic is the final layout and the final installation of the components, switches, binding posts, USB outlets, the 110 volt outlets, and 12 volt outlet. This pic shows the final installation of the USB, 12 volt, and LED light switch. This shows the template of installation of the DV voltmeter multimeter meter. This shows the 12 volt on and off power switch and the template where it will be placed. This shows the actual on and off switch with the wiring harness. This shows the 10 amp PWM, which means pulse width modulation, to charge the batteries when solar panels are attached for the lithium ion 18650 batteries. This shows the partial install of the battery pack along with a smaller battery made from the 18650 batteries being charged with the PWM solar controller. Testing the small battery before hooking it up to the big battery to make sure it actually charges the lithium ion batteries. This shows all the components installed before the actual wiring takes place. This picture also shows one way to install This picture also shows one way to install batteries along with the inverter. This shows an alternate installation of the batteries, still trying to find out which layout for the batteries takes up the least amount of space, so the solar charger and the inverter to be included on the inside of this particular case. This picture shows the installation of the Euronics 0-167 Fahrenheit digital temperature. This will display the temperature of the inside of this case. This will only come on and display the inside temperature when the adjustable snap disc fan control is triggered. The fans and the display will come on when the inside temperature reaches 95 degrees Fahrenheit. By setting this up in this manner, the end user will get a visual notice of the inside temperature. The fans come on, cools the case down, and the gauge will shut off and the fans will turn off. This way there isn't a needless waste of wattage displaying the temperature if not needed. This is a pic of both fans installed. Looking down in the box, the left set of fans pull air into the box, and the right side of the fans blow out, creating a cross ventilation of the interior of the box. This pic shows the installation of one of the 4 fans with the guards installed to protect the fan with a screen to keep the camping bugs out, to protect the inside of small critters getting into something or somewhere to cause problems. This shows the 3 switches, 12 volt, 30 amp, DC, rocker toggle switches that the 12 volt current to the USB plugs and the 12 volt socket. Instead of wiring all 3 to a single switch using just one of the 3, wasting power for the unused devices, if you're not using them, don't turn them on. This will extend the amount of time between charges if you're not wasting power and not using it. This picture shows the final installation of all the components. Notice in the upper right the new switch. This switch is a 300 amp battery disconnect switch, master power isolation cutoff switch. This switch will be wired for the inverter only. Again, if you're not using the the 100 volt, then don't turn it on. The 2 circuits will be separated: inverted power for 110 volt appliances and 12 volt power. If you have the need to use an inverter, then you can turn it on without opening the case. Just flip the switch from the outside and plug in when you want. This shows the actual switch that will control the inverter from the outside and its final installation. This pic shows the 300 amp battery disconnect connections from the inside, along with the 12-volt DC on and off switch and the binding post final installation. This is another pic trying to figure out how to put the battery together and the orientation of the battery to make room for other components.